Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Animal Crossing Every Day. It is my pleasure to bring to you today's episode of Animal Crossing Every Day. It's a show where I play Animal Crossing every day. I know, it sounds too far-fetched to believe, but here we are, two of us together at last, doing whatever it is we're doing. So, great. It's good to see you. Hello. I hope you enjoyed your soup. It was delicious. I made it myself. I made some good soup. I'm a good soup maker, basically. We have a special offer today, a stunning wagon wheel. As always, we have a wide variety of other items as well. Why not stop by? Thank you, Tom Nook. Some other stuff. So how is everybody today? Are you all good? Are you ready for adventures? I tried recently to start my own magazine. That's what I did. See, I had seen these little magazines in the shops. You know, you go to Tesco's, see all these magazines. And I thought, would I be able to make my own magazine? I thought that'll be fun. You look how much fun these guys are having. You see them all on the front covers. There's people like, you know, in bikinis and whatnot. I'm like, whoa, look at all the fun. Imagine if I made a magazine, you know, what would I make it about? All sorts of stuff. So I thought, could I do that myself? Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, but Explody magazines is a dead art form. Everybody does all their business online. People don't really read magazines that much anymore, do they? I agree. You're 100% correct. It was probably a big mistake on my part. But you know what? I said, whatever. I'm determined. I got determination. I got determination in my bones. I think that's what the doctor said. I don't remember what he said. He said I had something in my bones that began with D. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I said, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my parents proud. They always said, you know what I want from you? I hope you make your own magazine someday. And for a long time, I didn't understand. I didn't know what that meant. But today, well, not today, but you know, recently I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make my own magazine. You know, so look at the magazines that were on the shop floor of Tesco's. What have they got? What's their magazines? There's OK. There's Hello. You know. There's alright, mate. There's all these magazines. So I'm like, alright, I gotta get a magazine. It's gotta have a snappy title, you know. What would be a really good name for my magazine? So I was trying to think. You know, I'm going through ideas, you know. Well, also, what's my magazine gonna be about? Because there was all sorts of magazines. Like there was the gossipy ones, but then there was ones about. Oh, I'm sorry, my Siri just turned on. Hang on. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. My Siri turned on and was asking questions about the bone thing that I just said. I don't know why it turned itself on. There you go. I don't know if you heard that, but so thank you, Siri, for once again disrupting an episode of Animal Crossing. So anyway, I had to make my own magazine. What was I gonna call it? Right? What was it gonna be about? These were questions that I had, and I didn't have any answers. I had to think, because there's all sorts of magazines. There's ones about dogs and ones about like glue and stuff. You know, Glue magazine. You wouldn't think that there would be a magazine about glue. It's really popular. People love talking about it. All sorts of stuff you can do with it. Did you know you could glue stuff together with glue? It's true. I learned so much reading the Glue magazine. So I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? I kind of like the idea of the variety magazine, right? You look at something like Hello or OK or All Right, Mate. They had a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't just like here's you know, here's all the biscuits we like. That's just one feature, and I really like that. I was like, I can do that. You know, I can make a magazine that has a lot of stuff in it. like gossipy stuff, but then also like opinion pieces and maybe some recipes, stuff like this. I think that would be really neat, you know. So I'm like, I can do this easy. But so that's what I'm gonna. That's what the magazine was going to be about. It's going to be about everything, anything I could think about going in the magazine, you know. But then I need a good name for it, right? So a lot of those variety magazines have either those, excuse me, those kind of names, you know, like okay, or hello, or all right, mate. So I needed something like that, something nice and casual, something really friendly that people would get on board with, you know. So, because that's the thing about those magazines, they have this like playful tone to them, even when they're talking about monstrous things. They have, you know, like you see a copy of like, all right, mate, or whatever. And you look at the front cover. Hi, Mitzi. You'll see the front cover, and it's like a big letters that say, "My husband pushed me down the stairs, but I still got him a birthday present." And you're like, what? Are you okay? Why did you tell this magazine this story? You know, but it's still kind of like done in a lighthearted manner, even when the subject matter is pretty rough. They try to deliver it in like a nice, friendly manner, you know. So I needed a friendly title. So I thought, I was trying to brainstorm. I was like, what about Gut Punch magazine? You know, because my articles would come at you like a punch to the gut. I thought that's pretty good. Punch Gut magazine. I'll put that on the pile. Not 100% sure about that one, but let's say Punch Gut magazine, pretty good. Or you know, but there's a little bit of harshness to that. So maybe like, what's a lighthearted kind of title? You know, Cake Fingers was another one I was thinking about, because everybody likes cakes, and like if your fingers were made out of cake, that would be like pretty soft and intriguing. You'd be intrigued. You'd be like, what? You know. So that was one of them I was thinking about. What was the other one? I wanted to call mine Goodbye, because there was one called Hello. So I'm like, well, you read hello first, and then you read goodbye last. It's like a little, you know, it's like a poem, basically. You could write a poem with all the different magazines, but I think a magazine called Goodbye is a little bit, you know, I don't think people would really dig that. They'd be a little confused by that. They'd be like, am I saying goodbye to the magazine, to the world? I don't understand. So that one, again, on the fence. I don't know about that. So let me know which one you guys think is best, alright? Gut Punch magazine, Cake Finger magazine, or Goodbye magazine, right? Put it in the comments. What do you think? Hello. That little cricket just jumped into the water. I know which one I like, but it's up to you. You know, you guys make the decisions, and I'll make the magazine. You know, let's have a look at this letter. I hope it's a good one. Let me see. When I first came, there was nothing. The emptiness saddened me, and I bent my will to planting flowers. Is this Felice not better for my efforts? Is it her? Somebody shows me this letter a lot. I don't know who it is, but somebody keeps showing me this letter. I get less and less interested by it every time I see it. You know. Hi, Tom. Hello. So then I was like, all right, we'll brainstorm the name, but I need to get down to business and start writing articles. I didn't have a proper camera. I had one of those old cameras from like, you know, one of those like little flash cameras you see in like movies from Billy the Kid times. You know, the ones where like they put it on a tripod and then they put the hood over the top. And they're like, all right, say cheese. And then they pull like the string and the flash paper goes off. You know what I'm talking about? That was the only camera I had. I only worked in black and white. And not proper black and white, but like sepia tone, kind of. Like a brownie color, you know. That's all I had. That's all I could find in the attic. I'm like, well, I guess that's the camera I gotta use, you know. But hey, it's better to have one camera than to have no cameras, right? So then I was like, all right, I gotta write some articles. Let's have a look at hello and goodbye and all. Well, not goodbye. Goodbye was the name of my magazine, potentially. So I'm like, what do people like reading about? They like recipes about biscuits or cakes or whatever. So I'll just like, I guess I'll just, how hard could it be to bake a cake? I'll make up a cake recipe and then I'll publish it, and then based on the feedback I get from the recipe, I'll know whether or not I got it right. You know what I mean? So if somebody writes back and goes, I tried to make your cake and it was awful, the recipe was all wrong, you didn't do enough of this or that, then I'll know, sweet, I know exactly how to fix it. Thank you. But if I make it up and the feedback is, I tried to make your cake the other day, it was delicious, my family were really happy, then I'm like, perfect. It's a win-win situation, really. So I just made up a bunch of stuff. Like, how hard can it be to bake a cake? Flour, egg, whiskey, done. Simple. A little bit of frosting. Do you have to make the frosting yourself? I don't know. People will figure that out themselves, Add frosting as necessary. That was part of it. Because in that way, they can somebody else can worry about it. It's no skin off my nose. Problem solved. And then I was like, all right, I need some kind of like other pieces. I need the sob stories or stuff like that. I need something like this. So I wanted to go around to my neighbor's house and ask them questions. I had to bring my camera with me. And I'm like, hey guys, did you ever get murdered in your sleep by your significant other? While I'm setting the camera up, and they're like, no, that never happened. I'm like, okay, cool. Any other stories? Maybe like one of your ancestors was a pirate, something like that, or you recently discovered there was a wolf living in your basement, anything like this. And they're like, no, what? That doesn't happen around here. By this time, I finally get the camera set up. I'm like, come on, can you give me anything? Was your baby abducted by ghosts? Something like this? They're like, no, you have to leave. And I'm like, all right, fine. So then I had to take the camera down again. And that took a while. Then I had to make small talk while I did that. And then I had to go to the next neighbors. I'm like, hey, the same thing over and over again. Did you little wolf in the basement? And it was tough doing that part. Journalism is tough. It's hard getting the scoops, the real big scoops. That's what I've learned. It's not easy trying to get the truth out of people, because they don't want to. I did also say, listen, I'm making a newspaper, or a magazine. I cannot pay you. It's good to have a story. Maybe it's therapeutic for you to tell your story. Maybe that'll help, but I cannot pay you. And so that probably was a significant factor as to why nobody got in touch with me. But anyway, basically, that's my idea so far. If you guys can help me come up with the title of the magazine, then I'll make the magazine. I also need more stuff to go into the magazine, but I'm sure I'll figure that out, right? Easy. Simple. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. A Punch Gut magazine. A Cake Finger magazine. Goodbye magazine. Let me know what you guys think. I know which one I like the best. So let me know in the comments. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I'll be back again tomorrow. And I will be playing Animal Crossing again. So I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much. And goodbye.